Yeah, my name is Gabe Zolna. Yesterday I was watching a bit of Fox News, and they were talking about, the young bomber, the 19-year-old, and they were talking about whether or not he should be Mirandized or whether he should be held for trial by a military tribunal. And one of the talking heads, I don't remember his name, he's one of the doctors that's always there giving his opinion. He said that he felt that since he's an American citizen, he should be entitled to all of the laws that apply to American citizens. Oh, really? After he slaughtered how many people and blew how many legs and how many arms off? If that isn't considered to be a terrorist act, what is? And if it's a terrorist act, then should he not be treated as a terrorist and sent to Gitmo and tried by a tribunal, instead of receiving attorneys at taxpayers' expense and holding a trial at taxpayers' expense? What sense does that make? That's what I'd like to know. We say, well, the Americans have certain rights. Oh, really? Like when Obama launches Hellfire missiles at American citizens, he becomes not only their judge and their jury, he also becomes their executioner. And not only does he become their executioner, he becomes the executioner of innocent folks that happen to be nearby when those Hellfire missiles are launched and vaporize their intended targets. Yeah. So, do I think that this 19-year-old needs to be tried? Absolutely. But not by a jury of his peers. The other problem that I don't think this particular talking head doctor took into consideration is that if he is tried in Massachusetts, which is where the crime occurred, guess what? They don't have the death penalty. So what would happen if he were convicted? He would be incarcerated for the rest of his life, probably in solitary confinement, at the cost of $50,000 or $60,000 a year. How many millions will that amount to before he passes away from old age? This whole thing's insane. When you've got a rabid dog, you destroy the rabid dog. You don't allow the rabid dog to continue infecting other people. This 19-year-old will go down as a hero because of what he was able to accomplish. This is completely crazy. It's almost as crazy as Obama sending back that Saudi nationalist who was originally a suspect. I don't know if this is true, but I read that Michelle Obama went to visit the Saudi national when he was in a hospital. Somebody gave him, according to what I read as well, an international cell phone so he could call mommy and daddy back in Saudi Arabia. How insane is this? We have this person as someone of interest in the bombing, and the next thing we know is that he's being deported. And they say that he's being deported, according to what Glenn Beck said, and on the deportation papers, it says that he's being deported because of connection to terrorist bombing. Well, the only terrorist bombing that I know of that took place recently is the one that took place at the Boston Marathon. How insane is this? You think maybe when one of the princes from Saudi Arabia went to visit and meet with Obama, and it wasn't a planned, scheduled meeting? No, this was like an impromptu. He was just roaming around the halls of the White House. He just happened to bump into Obama. Yeah. And one of the high-level diplomats from Saudi Arabia just happened to bump into John Kerry when Kerry was supposed to have participated in a photo op which was canceled so he could just happen to talk to this diplomat from Saudi Arabia. And then shortly thereafter, it just happened that this person of interest was going to be deported. Come on, you people in America aren't that stupid not to see how the pieces of the puzzle all connect. Saudi Arabia is the anchor for all of the Muslim terrorist activity. Saudi Arabia funded what took place in Benghazi. I have little doubt that Saudi Arabia also funded what took place in Boston. And I have little doubt that Obama is very closely tied in with Saudi Arabia. I think he even asked this prince to give Obama's best wishes to the king of Saudi Arabia. I think that's what the article also stated. Huh? You think they're bros? Oh yeah. Remember when Obama bowed down to the king of Saudi Arabia? That was not done intentionally. That was what's called an unintentional reflex action of someone that was in the presence of someone that they highly, highly revered. That's what that was. And if psychologists were willing to pipe in, they'd probably agree with what I just said. They might even agree with everything that I've just said. I don't know. I told you what I think. What do you think?